Welcome, welcome. My name is Robin Pullen. I'm with Marina on Radio Works World Radio. It's really great to be with you. Such a fantastic opportunity to be on this platform today. I'm going to share something of my story, a little bit about who I am and what I've done in the world of speaking, coaching, and training, and how I find opportunities to engage with people on a business breakthrough. We've designed some systems, some tactics, and some tools that help people break through in business in 90 days. So it's really exciting to be able to share some of this idea, some of the stories, some of these tactics and tools, because it's exciting because I'm seeing how people are engaging with this stuff and how it's changing people's lives regardless of where they find themselves. So regardless of where you might find yourself today, I know that some of the things that we're sharing across the continent and across the world make sense to people because they're real people with real problems looking for real solutions that help them make real difference in their world. So I want to talk about 5 things that you can stop, 5 things that you can start, and why a system is so important for you to take your personal story, whether it's at home or at work, to the next level. Are you ready for me? Here we go. So the first things, there's 5 things that I've encountered that people struggle with. These are the 5 things, the first 5 things that you really need to stop if you want to take your story to the next level. Now, I know they're real because they're the 5 things that I've had to learn to stop myself in my journey. The first is avoiding. You see, you have a dream, a purpose, a plan, a vision, a dream. I've worked with about 104,000 people across the world so far in my professional career, and I really have not met more than 5 people who honestly don't have a reason to live, don't have something that's important to them, something that they're looking for, something that they want to either achieve or contribute, or that's something there's burning inside them. What I have found is too many people avoiding that something. Now, there might be many reasons why you're avoiding, but the first thing you need to stop doing is this avoiding. You need to stop putting aside that which is already inside you, those dreams, those goals, those visions, that passion that burns inside your heart. And I did that for far too long in my life until I found tactics and tools to help me work on my head knowledge, my heart knowledge, and my physical, my practical tools and techniques, and my skills and experience. So the first thing is avoiding. The second is procrastinating. Some people, they get past the avoid, but they procrastinate. There's just some rule in their heart and their mind that they believe. There's almost like a lie about who they are and how valuable they are and what they can and cannot do. And they hold onto that lie, onto that story, and they use that to procrastinate, to put off until another time, another day. And the third thing that they do once they're procrastinating is they start to blame. Now, I know you've never done that. I've done this far too many times. I find myself, if I have the courage to be honest about what's going on, honest with myself, honest with my work and my home and just life at large, I can realize that the reason I've avoided and procrastinated is because I'm still blaming. I'm still blaming a situation. I'm a misplaced hope, a desire, a dream, something that I hoped to one day do, or something that I'm struggling with right now. Perhaps there's a listener, perhaps you find yourself, no matter where you are in the world, understand that we're very much as different as we are as human beings, as people who are breathing oxygen. We are very much the same. If you have a heart, there is emotion, and in that emotion, there's this ability to blame why you're stuck in your situation on something or someone else. And the problem with blaming is it sets you up for the fourth problem that you need to learn to stop, and that's deflecting. So deflecting from the situation, deflecting from courage to be honest with what's going on in front of you, in around you, and within your heart and your mind and your soul. Deflecting from the real purpose, deflecting from the issue at hand, deflecting from your goal and your dreams that you're busy with. And once you've got to this state where you're avoiding, you're procrastinating, you're blaming, and you find yourself deflecting, you've set yourself up for self-sabotage. Self-sabotage is this set of skills, these tactics that you've learned, you've practiced them so often that they've become second nature to you. And every time you find yourself ready to engage with your purpose, with your goals, with your dreams, with your work, or with your family, you find yourself lead yourself down the path and you self-sabotage the very things you're hoping for. So those 5 things I've had to learn, to master, to stop in my life because I want breakthrough. And everywhere I go across the continent and everywhere I go across the world where I want to help people go to the next level, these are the things they need to stop. So if you're stopping these 5 things, perhaps there's 5 things you need to start. And I want to share these with you as well. The first is you need to start thinking again. Many people have stopped thinking. They've lost the art. They've lost the confidence. They've lost permission. They've stopped giving themselves permission to think. Because if you're stuck with the avoiding, procrastinating, blaming, deflecting, and self-sabotage, those are all very real. And as they are real, they are emotional. And those emotions are very real and personal to you. So what happens is, well, I know I did. I stopped giving myself permission to think about the situation, and I was just trapped in that situation. So start thinking again. And when you start thinking, there's a fascinating thing that happens. You start to dream again. Give yourself permission to start dreaming again. Dream about what it is that you're passionate about. Dream about what you could do, what you might do. Dream about if money wasn't an option or wasn't a problem, what could you achieve? When you're thinking and dreaming, the third thing you can start doing is you can start seeing again. See what it is that is in front of you. See the opportunities around you. See the people that you already connected with. See the opportunities that are in front of you because of what you've already achieved, the work that you've done, the successes that you have done. No matter how little they are, they add incrementally to what you can achieve. The third thing, seeing, opens up the fourth thing that you can start to do, and that's to believe again. To believe means to be alive, to start to trust that what you see, that what you dream, that what you think, not only is it real to you because it's in your own heart and your mind, but it's real because it can start taking place around you. If you see there's breadcrumbs of evidence all around you that this stuff is for real, and actually God has intended, you've been wired, you've been created, you've been wonderfully made with all the gifts and talents that you need to take the next step that you've been holding out to. So that's the fourth thing you need to start doing. To take that next step is meaning you need to take action, to act, to take that step. In the coaching work that I do, one of the things people most often throw back at me is, yes, but I've made so many mistakes. How will I know what to do next? How will I have the courage to take another step, to take another action? And I'll remind them that that's exactly the point. You see, we've made so many mistakes. I believe a mistake is just a mistake. And unless you make the mistakes, you won't know what it takes to get to the next step. So actually, I am who I am because of the mistakes that I've made, the experience that I have, the professional experience, this training experience, the speaking experience, all that I have, the value that I have to offer clients and persons around the continent, around the world, is actually tied up in the mistakes that I've made. I wouldn't know what works unless I knew what doesn't work. And likewise with you, the fact that you know that you're ready for more, that you're capable for more, the fact that there's this voice inside you that tells you that actually there's something bigger, there's something I still need to do, there's something unfinished in my life, it's because of those mistakes. It's because you've tried and you've done and you've taken action, little steps and big steps. You've won, you've lost, you've fallen, you've learnt, and there's this voice inside you that says, you see, you know what's missing, you know what you have done, now what could you do? And then this is the fifth thing you need to start doing, is celebrate. One thing that I've had to learn most in my life is to give myself permission to celebrate, because thinking and dreaming and seeing and believing are exciting, and then you start to take action, and then we need to celebrate. We need to concrete and cement the ground that we have gained, the winnings that we have achieved. And we need to give ourselves, you see, celebration isn't just a physical outside thing. It's a spiritual and an emotional internal thing. And it's like mistakes. We believe the mistakes because there's emotion attached and there's evidence to what we tried and we missed it. And the opposite of mistakes is celebrating, because to celebrate means to raise up, to make much of, to acknowledge and recognize, and most importantly, to receive the gift in the moment of that moment. That's why they call it the present, because it is a present to your head and to your heart, to say, well done, this is what you've achieved. Now, I don't know about you, but most people don't celebrate because it's so personal. For me, it was like this false humility thing that no, I can't celebrate, I can't tell the world, I can't share and shout from the tabletops or even just the mountaintops of what it is that I've achieved, because I must be humble, I must be professional, I must be particular, and that one of the biggest problems is we hide under the table. Well, I did. I didn't have the courage to celebrate. I didn't give myself permission to celebrate what it is that I've achieved. And actually, that's the very thing that held me back. As I start to celebrate, not only do I start to believe it for myself, I start to see other people believe what it is that I'm doing and what I'm capable of. When my professional space, in my coaching and training, as I celebrate, I start to tell the world, look what I have to offer. Look at the gift I have to share. And as I celebrate with myself, other people find confidence, and they too can give themselves permission to celebrate in the work that we have done in the coaching and in the training. And in doing so, they give themselves permission to believe it and to see it and to dream more and to think, I want to say harder, but to think more intentionally. And as they think and dream and see, their belief raises, and so does mine. As our belief grows stronger, we take better actions, and we take those actions more often, and our success improves. Our success factor improves. And because we're succeeding more often, we're celebrating more often. Can you see the circle, Marina? Can you see how this feeds into itself? And it just creates success. It creates a pathway of success. So the 5 things that I've had to learn to stop in my business breakthrough is avoiding stuff. Stop procrastinating. Stop blaming all the world around me because of what I do or do not do. Stop deflecting and stop setting myself up for self-sabotage. And as I do that, I've started to think again. And I want to help people, whether I speak, coach, or train, I want to help people around the world start to think again. And as they take steps and they take courage to think, they start to see that they can dream again. And as we dream again, it's like we've built up a love tank. We build up our ability to see again. And from dreaming, we start to see what is in front of us, the world around us, the opportunities around us. And as we see, we start to believe again. We are reminded of what it is that we've already been made of our gifts, of our talents, of our thinking ability, of the strength of our heart, our emotional ability, and the beauty of our physical abilities, our tactics, our technologies, our tools. And technology doesn't just mean what you have in your mobile phone. Your technology is the thinking, that the professional expertise that you've developed over the years, your insights about how you do the work that you do, how you deliver the value that you deliver with your frameworks and your particular expertise, whether it's in marketing or money, whether it's in people or in plastics and products and manufacturing. Across the board, your technology is your gift to your industry, and you need to start believing it again. And the way that you do that is you take action. And the more action that you take, step by step, you build your own confidence, and you build your reputation, and you build evidence for the world around you that you are a gift. And you can celebrate that. And as I begin to celebrate more and more what it is that I'm achieving, I start to believe it, and people around me start to believe it. And I start to reach that very thing that I was looking for, and that's the business breakthrough. A sense of a gift, of being in the present, of enjoying what it is that I've been wired to be. I'm a gift for the world around me. And I want to live my life like that. Sometimes, Marina, when I'm introduced, when I get an opportunity to introduce myself at network events, I often start by saying this: when I'm dead, want to be like a glass of beautiful red wine, poured out empty, because that wine has been enjoyed. And when you come to my grave, my gravestone will say it's empty, because this was a life well lived, poured out for those around them, so that this graveyard too will be empty, because there are no dreams left here. They've all been taken and put into action, and they've become living testimonies of what these people were created to be. So that's a little bit about my story. 5 things to stop, 5 things to start, and how we build systems, how we help people with their behaviors and routines, how we need to understand that you need repetition and frequency, and systems that help you take actions, that develop habits, so that you can change your lifestyle, so that you can live the life that you're dreaming for. Whether that's on the beautiful beach or up in a fantastic city, in a metropolitan city, it doesn't really matter where you find yourself. What I'm interested in is the quality of life and what you're doing and how you're doing what you want to do, that you are a life well lived, that your gifts and talents are shared, so the world can see that every person that encounters you in professional space or personal space is left off a better person. And to do that, you need some inside secrets. You need to know that there's ways of doing things. You need to understand one of the things that I've had to work on myself is this myth of multitasking, that there were too many people that I meet along the way. They believe the lie that they can do more things more things at once than that they really can. And I'm sure you know that your brain can only focus, even if it's for a nanosecond, on one thing at a time. So we teach people to get out of the myth of multitasking, and we share a couple of simple solutions. And really what I want listeners to know, look, if you take anything away from this quick interview, this quick conversation today, if you want a business breakthrough, make sure you get out of multitasking. Make sure that you find someone that can help you in your profession or in the business aspects, the administrative aspects of your dream and your vision, to build simple solutions so that you can start growth hacking, that you can start taking fast track steps towards your goals, so that you can see real things change. And my last little nugget is, if you want to get any of those results, if you're looking for a result achievement system, the one thing you need to know that counts more than anything else, besides those 5 stops and those 5 starts, is that it's going to rest on your mindset or your mental model. It's going to rest on the picture that you paint of your ideal future, of your passion and your dream. And if you can do the head work, and you can back that up with the heart work, the emotional work, and you can have the courage and confidence to put that into the handwork, what you do and how you do it, you will find that in the shortest space time, you can experience a business breakthrough. Over to you, Marina.
Wow, Robin. Robin, you are the founder, member of the Silver Lining Project, and you are the
Correct.
national president for this year of the Professional Speaker Association of Southern Africa, and the non-executive director of the Positivity Foundation. And I wonder, why on earth you never knock on this door before?
I think because when something is right, when the timing is right, the door appears. And something
Yes.
about...
So Robin, all I want to know, because it's very clear to me that you create and deliver value, and apparently, as far as I know, another 100,000 people know this. And you are not anymore the best kept secret. But what you are doing now, you help people not to be the best kept secret anymore. You help people to create their own reality in 90 days. Wow, that's phenomenal. It's like you know, even for a baby to be born, you need 99 months, and this 90 days, 3 months of your life is like, you know what? Why not? It's just 3 months of my life. I could turn my dream into reality. I could turn my vision into other people's reality, and they could all embrace and walk into a better life, and they could all share the light and just grow this seed, this little seed that you are planting into a tree that is bearing fruits. I so love everything you said, and my favorite part is the celebrating part. Because
Yes, excellent.
I'm obsessed by celebrations, and most people won't understand and think that I lost it or something wrong is happening to my mind. And I tell them, because they always ask me how, and I'm thinking, look, You have to kill the how. It's all about the wow. Wow, I'm celebrating. And that says it all. And when I have to answer that question, what is, the celebration about? It's very simply eliminate everything, absolutely everything you can't celebrate. And then you'll see how much you have. And right now I want to celebrate you, Robin, because you got this divine essence that each one of us is born with, but you made a choice. You made the choice to not ignore your divine essence, because we all have that choice. You could ignore what you got, or you could develop and master that gift, that unique talent you've been born with, because that talent wasn't given to you for no reason, or wasn't given to you to hold on it. You
Yes.
are not just yes, this is my gift, and keep it in a dark. It was given to you with the actually very specific destination, to bring it out into the world, to take it from that darkness, from that nothingness, into worldliness, and make it something that the world will benefit, because the world is this masterpiece, but
Yes.
is not a masterpiece unless you are the world of masterpiece. And I think that this big puzzle, we are part of it, and that it's not perfect, because this is life, it's not perfect. And there are so many voids, and everybody's blaming, oh, I don't have this because of this, and the government is at fault, my parents are guilty, my brothers are horrible, or whatever it is that you could blame are nothing but your excuses. And
Exactly.
once you realize that, you could actually turn yourself from the missing piece into the masterpiece. And coming back to that divine essence you just shared with us, and that wine, glass of wine, you're um, you know celebrating your life and who you are as a
Yes.
human being. I think I wish I had a formula that I pour your divine essence into little bottles, like 7 millions of little bottles, and give it away to every single person, every single human being on this planet. Because what you got is so unique, it's so inspiring, it's so magical, that could turn everything around. So for our listeners, you need Robin's medicine. If Robin's is a medicine, you need that medicine. I don't believe in drugs, but I believe in people. And here right now, you have a great human being. You have a gigantic soul. Connect with Robin, and you'll never look back. I know this as a fact. And I was doing some calculation, and there are about 7.4 billion people, and each coach, each great speaker have the grand mission of coaching about 147,000 people in his lifetime. And you are
Mm.
almost there. So what's next?
Well, here's what's next. I have a big vision. I want to touch the lives of 10 million people in the next 10 years. I also know that I can't do that alone. So I loved what I heard you saying about people feeling like they're a missing piece and finding the ways to turn their lives into the masterpiece. And that's what I want to do. I want to help as many people as I possibly can turn their lives into a masterpiece. And to do that, I need to help other people do that. And that's why I'm involved in the Silver Lining Project, where we can help other people, speakers, coaches, and trainers, share their message so that we can reach 10 million lives in the next 10 years.
Wow, Robin, I love the figures. I love everything about your vision. I embrace your vision, and anything I can do to help, I'm here. And I have one question,
Yes.
which you don't need to answer, but I'll ask anyway. So what happened that evening?
Well, it's about so for the listeners, one of the pictures that was chosen to be used on social media happened at a particular place, and what happened around there was difficult for me, and it's about a whole lot of other people forcing their little worlds on on people in their community. And I so don't connect with that. I so don't resonate. My heart is to be open-handed. Look, I can't work for free. I can't just pour my life out for nothing, but I'm looking for people that we can work with. And my heart, my hands are open to touch millions and millions of lives. And that means I need a growth mindset. That means my heart needs to be open. That means my vision and my perspective is on the other side of the horizon, not stuck in the room. And it's very difficult. It's uncomfortable when one finds oneself having poured your life into a group of people who are so focused on their own picture, on their own story, on their own ego, on their own needs, and everything is about in the moment, and everything is about making their next step shine. And that's what was really difficult about that day. It's so not what this world is about. We are like lights that shine, but we shine brighter together. There is more than enough opportunity in this world. And I think of our economy. I'm based in Southern Africa. I think of the African economy. I think of the continent. I think of the world today. These are the times that we're living in, that history made people that we speak of. The times, the difficult times economically, socially, and in our communities. It's really, really difficult times today. But it is from these kinds of times across the span of history that incredible people were birthed and born, that inventions were made, that industries were discovered, that new ways of work and new ways of living and new ways of transport were created in such a time as this. So it is a time of opportunity. And you get to choose. Are you going to live under the table? Are you going to live all about you? Are you going to be someone who is just a mistake, or that missing piece, as you mentioned, Marina? Or will you dig deep? Will you lift your eyes beyond yourself? Will you look to the horizon and beyond? Will you see the opportunities that are around you? And I'm going to quote you, will you give yourself permission to become a masterpiece?
Wow, Robin, I'm sure our listener will want you back, fast and
Wonderful.
furious. So I wanted to ask, what brought you to this point in your life when you are so abundant, you have so much to give, and of course you know what it takes. You know that people pay for what they value, and they only value what they pay for. So I totally agree with you. I don't believe in free coaching, because no one takes you seriously. And actually what is really happening, because the coaching work is a divine work. It's not about the money. It's about the person which is going to benefit. So if you coach one person or another, makes no difference. It makes a huge difference, but it's not for you. So who benefits is your client. And when your client goes all in and is committed to their own dream, it's when things things turn around, and when everything makes total sense, and when they embrace their own challenge, and you give them the keys, basically, to the karmic keys, if you want, to themselves. So there is no secret. There is no, everybody selling a secret or another secret. And I know as a fact there is no secret. I am the best kept secret. So when I decide to unveil my greatness, to unleash my powers, to share my vision, is when I become somebody that people need. When people start coming to me because they need me, and I could serve them to my best ability, with an open heart, with an open mind. So there is no secret to me, that out there, the only secret is you. So tell me, what turned you from the best kept secret into the person you are right now?
Well, I first want to just comment on the coaching thing. You know, the problem about coaching is that coaches think it's about the coach, and it's so not.
Exactly.
It's about the person that you're coaching. It's about asking questions and facilitating that opportunity for a best kept secret, for that missing piece to become a masterpiece. So what turned for me? I would love to be able to take some credibility, or some, to say, yes, it was my thinking, or it was my doing, but it wasn't. I think it was the universe setting me up through a course of personal discovery and journey, and me encountering something of life, and something that just cannot be. It's like a fire has been lit in my soul, a life spark that I've encountered, that just cannot be quenched, that cannot be put out. I've traveled I live in a pretty decent city, and I've traveled across the continent. I've worked in the most sophisticated, fancy, expensive places, and I've worked in shacks and homes. And I see what is in the heart, through the eye gate, through an eye of a person, what is in their heart, and what can come out, what can be produced, what can be released. If someone in that coaching space receives the gift of teaching, it's worth more than gold. It's worth more than all the gadgets I can buy and all the awards I can get. And that inspires me. And I'm pretty convinced that, in the world that we live in today, with technology that we have in our hand, we can achieve more, and we can do for more people. By achieve more, I mean, I work in Johannesburg, South Africa. It's a pretty sophisticated place, but I work in a city or a town outside of Dar es Salaam or outside of Nairobi, or I've been working in South Sudan, up in Juba, out in the districts, and I find people have access to technology because of mobile phones and because of internet. We can achieve more today than we've ever been able to do in the history of society, and that is a very exciting time. And I want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of raising the personal economy of hundreds and thousands of people. I want to inspire and encourage people that the barriers to entry, the barriers to economy, the barriers to personal development or personal mastery and professional mastery and business mastery, they're more tough than ever before, but they are lower than ever before. Becoming successful in business today is really, really difficult, but the barrier to entry has been completely smashed down because of the access that technology provides. So I feel it's a very, very exciting time, and I want to be a part of as many stories as possible of people that encounter their purpose.
Wow, Robin, I still feel that it was something, a very dark moment you had to embrace to turn your life into this ball of fire. And I wonder if you could share with us, just in few words, what was that day when you said to yourself, you know what, enough, it's enough. I'm not going to live my life witnessing poverty and distressful stories, and I have to go all in and reinvent my life.
Wow. I would love to say it was one day. I don't think it is. I think it's moments on the journey, and those moments, they build and they add. It's like layer upon layer upon layer, and you may not look. There might be people listening who do have that one day moment, and it's wow. They go to sleep one night and they wake up the next morning and the world has changed. I'm not that kind of person. I'm a journeyman. I'm on a journey, and I think the Creator and God, or however you call him, the universe has drip feeds me revelation on my journey. I will say that there was a day when I decided, and this is quite vulnerable, but let me put it out there. There was a day when I decided that I want to be congruent. I want to be the same person when I'm speaking, the same person when I'm coaching, the same person if you find me on an aeroplane, the same person when you find me at home, the same person at an international event, the same person at an evening gala event, the same person at the local food takeaway store. I want to be the same person. I want to be congruent. And that demanded that I face a number of challenges, a lot of the blaming, the deflecting, the self-sabotage, and it required of me to see again and to start to believe again and to choose a thread to say, well, who am I really? I know what I can do, and I know how to do a bunch of stuff really, really well, but who will I be? And if that's who I will be, how will I then do what I know to do? I hope that makes sense, but that's been the real essence of my journey. It's time for the
Absolutely,
real
yes.
me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So this is what I wanted to understand. If you are, like the same way the pearl is formed inside the oyster when
Oh,
an intruder hits and gets in, and the oyster can't eliminate the foreign organism, but what they do, they cover and layers of an egg, and then the pearl is formed. So takes years, takes decades, whatever it takes, it's worth it. And you know, Robin, I was in the same happened to this platform with everything I experienced traveling the world, globe trotting for to hunt for. I was actually hunting for big ideas, hoovering the planet, and I
Yes.
got to South Africa, and I you got an amazing country. And you know what, for 3 days I had absolutely no moment to myself. I had to talk to hundreds and hundreds of people. So actually I did not leave the venue, except for dinner. We had dinner to another place, so that was that. So I was at the airport leaving, and this was second time, and I was waiting for my boarding call, and I saw this engraved message on the wall. It wasn't just an advert; it was engraved on the wall. It was written in stone, and it was an old African proverb saying, "If you want to travel fast, you travel alone.
Wow.
If you want to travel far, travel together." African proverb. And you know, Robin, that changed my life. That was the moment for me. That
Wonderful.
was the moment when I realized that all these people who were queuing up to buy my book, at some point I realized they were borrowing from each other their last money, their dinner money. And I said, no, I'm not selling books anymore. I'm giving them my books. And then later on, these people stay in touch. Most of them stayed in touch with me, and some of them will need to travel for 5 hours to the nearest village and um, buy the bundle, the internet, to be connected, to be able to talk with me. And I promised myself that I don't know how, and I'm not about how anymore. Since then, wow. I don't know. I don't care how, but on a horseback, I'm going to help these people to have a library, to be able to enlighten themselves. They're so hungry for knowledge. They will
Yeah.
queue up. They were queuing up to buy a book with their last money.
Yes.
What planet are we on? I mean, this is so not fair for us to witness how people coming from a place of pain, all they need is knowledge, specialized knowledge, and they have no access to it.
Mm.
This is
Yes.
this is this is third millennium. We live in a world where, like you said, next big building is rising next to a shark. So poverty is like the Holocaust. Once you are in, you don't want to go back there. And I thought, well, I don't know about bricks and mortar, but for sure I can build a library where people could always find big ideas. They could find other people's story and be inspired, because most people, they have it all. What they don't have, or they run out very soon after they go to an event or they go back home to their old life, they don't have inspiration. And for you being here, it's such a great honor for me to talk to you, have these great conversations, because inspiration is in short supply. And yes, there is a formula always that could be transferred into the next person and light the candle with another candle. And I love the way you created a process, a blueprint for yourself, and now you transfer that on to your clients. And this is exactly because everybody's so different, and it's not for everyone. It's for certain people who could use it and pour their own divine essence into this gold framework, into this blueprint. And I just wonder, when are you coming back?
I'd love to be back. I'd love to have more conversations with you. I think I love what I'm hearing you say about, let's call it a digital library of insight and inspiration. I do believe there's still place for books. I do believe, I mean, I have many books on my shelf and I've read most of them. And one or two of them, there's a printed page. I mean, when I put my thoughts down on paper, I still use a flip chart. I still use paper. So there's a place for a book. But I love it's the same essence of breaking down barriers and making access to inspiration and access to information. But information is not power. Inspiration is not power. Really, I'd love to be back with you, but it's not about me and my story. It's about how do we say what needs to be said so that a listener hears that message at the right place at the right time and they have the courage to do something. It's about taking action. It's about taking the next step and doing something, just that next thing, so that their story, my story, God's got in control of my story. It's not finished, but it's okay. It's about a listener. It's about saying, okay, I've heard this enough now. When is enough enough? I heard you ask. Let today be enough. Go and do something. Go stop something. Go start something and start your breakthrough today.
You see, Robin, is what you said stays with me, because to me it's all about your message.
Oh.
To me, your message is not about you. You are the messenger. And
Yes.
we are not here because of my message or your message. We are here because somebody out there got a message and they don't know it.
Yes.
And you see, like the birds are migrating from the North Hemisphere to South Africa for the winter. Other people
Yes.
are migrating from where they are to where they want to be. They are migrating from one country to another, or they are crossing the borders into their own legacy.
Yes, I
And
like that.
and this is why Radio W.O.R.K.S World is here. Is here to make that voice of yours sound like a song, and allow that song from your heart to come out and mesmerize the world. Is fair to say that I love books. I'm a fanatic of books. You know, I can't imagine life without books, and it's nothing like a book when you hold it in your hand. Even the smell, I love it. And I know that most people don't have that privilege, but I'm saying, when we start voicing the message, when we invite each one of the 99% to migrate into the 1%, see, there are no borders. It's on their own message that is going to take them there. Because we expect too much from the 1%. And honestly, if you think about it, if you visualize this, how the 1% could help the 99%, I think, in all fairness, the 99% could help the 1% in a way that everything could change, and it's going to take time, and we are all in, because it's worth it. And we are a big family of farmers. There are people from 23 countries now who are broadcasting on Radio W.O.R.K.S World, and by the end of the year we need at least another 77 countries to join.
Oh.
You see, is real, and is as real as you want to be. And if you imagine your message going from South Africa into into a little village in South America, or into a big city in North America, uh, imagine what that does. We had recently somebody, an amazing speaker, Ain Turner. She survived the war, and she's the peace host at Radio W.O.R.K.S World, and she wrote a poem, and it was a beautiful poem. And next day, another host, the melody host in South Africa, invited one of her students, and he used the lyrics to turn the poem into a masterpiece. He jazzed it up. And now we have a program. It's called Jazz It Up, but don't ask me what it is, because you are asking the wrong question. You have to sign up. So, so it's for young artists who got the gift and the magic of music, and they could use this platform to sing their song. And this is just an example. So yes, we don't yet have a library bricks and mortar in South Africa, but we that's part of our vision,
Yeah.
to create libraries, to create places where people could have their own dream hub. And they go there, they manifest their dream, they connect with like-minded people, and they find the support they need to grow into a bearing fruit tree. Over to you, Robin, and we are running out of time, but who cares? What's time? Time is not
I love
relevant.
Marina. I love what I heard you say about the migration, and this is what I like about what you're busy with, because what I see is that you're helping people migrate from their missing place to their masterpiece. And it's exciting because that migration is first and foremost an intellectual, a head knowledge, a mental mindset game. And in that migration, as you leave one place, one season, one country, one environment, and you journey on to the next, the new, the one that you desire, it is a migration, it's a journey. And what better way to do a journey than to do it with friends and support and inspiration and insight. So I want to thank you for the opportunity to contribute to your story and to this platform. I think you guys are doing great work, and I look forward to seeing how it goes from strength to strength. Thank you.
From both of us, until next time, grow. Grow into the person you could be to deliver your own message. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Namaste.